Welcome back to another V-Rising video. This one's going to be a little bit different from some of my more recent videos, but probably more of like a callback to some of the older videos I used to do, which were boss guides. I was looking back through my video specific about Adam, the Firstborn, and I realized that, well, I labeled it a guide, and I suppose if you were to follow it and watch it enough, it would be a guide for you because it shows you how I was able to beat him with slashers. I decided instead to go through and do a more thorough guide for how to beat him in just a couple ways. I mean, honestly, this is just going to be more so focusing on my preferred methods. I've beaten him quite a few times now, just kind of off by myself. And while what I'm doing, I won't claim to be the absolute best method. I will say for me, it is like easily the most consistent method. I was able in this current run here that I'm doing, this is just like a chill solo run on a squad server that I've been doing, just kind of messing around. I was able to kill him first try with pistols with the build that I've been using, and I'm going to run through that really quickly now, just to kind of explain exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And then we're going to jump into the fight, and I'm going to do my best to just show what he does and then show what I do as an answer to what he does. Just to fully explain and break down what is going on in this fight, because I have a feeling that a lot of people are still struggling with this solo, and so I figured this might be helpful. So real quick, I have, if you've seen my other videos against Adam, I used to prefer using slashers against him. Recently, I've really come around to the power of pistols, specifically in a lot of boss fights, and especially in this boss fight. It honestly feels like it's no contest that pistols are just hands down the best weapon to use in this. I mean, obviously everything's subjective. You do you, whatever you want to do. But just the combination of range, damage, and iframes make my iframes with the E make pistols just absolutely crazy. I'll also say this: legendary pistols are not necessary. I mean, obviously, probably just sanguine is what you want to do with, preferably with sanguine, because obviously it's the most damage you'll be able to do. But I have these legendary pistols, so I figured the point of this is not trying to beat him as fast as possible or for the first time. I'm just going to use this to show how to beat him. Setup-wise, spells, in my experience, for me, I've really pretty much solidified my favorite spells to use against him as these four here: Veil of Blood, Bloodright, Chaos Volley, and whatever this is called now. What is this? Raging Tempest. Not Mirror Strike anymore. It's Raging Tempest now. So, and the reason for all of this, I'll explain. Obviously, I'm not saying, again, like I said, I'm not saying this is the only way to go about this fight. If you have a preferred method, by all means, go for it. But for me, the last time I did this fight, which was actually yesterday, just like the first time I had done it in this run, I didn't even drop below a quarter HP lost. I mean, I got hit a couple times and just instantly healed it back. So the way I see it, this fight is either a battle of attrition with recovery, with sustain, or a battle of attrition with more damage. The more damage you do, the less you have to worry about sustaining, right? Because if you kill him quickly, then you don't have to deal with as many moves. So if you're really good at dodging all of his moves and dealing with them without having a lot of sustain, by all means, go for more damaging spells. My opinion would probably be something like Bloodright is probably still really good. I mean, and there's probably other things like I don't know if Discharge would be worth it, but like Chaos Barrier or something for the blocks like that is really good, so you can reflect the damage, get more consistent damage. More Chaos Burn, or Ignite anyway. Ignite is more damage, so the longer Ignite is going on, the more damage you're doing. So that would be something you could use over Bloodright. But for me personally, I find Bloodright to just be just such a good skill in this fight. Specifically because if I had to choose anything on a gem for this, I would say turning invisible is probably the most important. This is my personal preferred gem setup for this. Once you trigger it, your next primary attack is bonus damage. This is a pretty low roll, but doesn't matter. Increase in material duration. Really nice. This isn't necessary. I really like it because it just gives you so much time to work with and to think. And then the invisibility is not, again, also not necessary, but it is very helpful. And the reason for that is whenever you counter one of his moves with Bloodright and go invisible, he will stop moving and while you're invisible. And the way Bloodright works is you are, the invisibility works is you're invisible as long as you are immaterial. While your immaterial duration is going, you are still invisible. And this includes attacks. So if you counter something and then go into invisibility, you can literally just start using attacks on him while you're invisible, and he will not react. So that does things like you can counter and then just throw out a Chaos Volley, and then just get a free Chaos Volley. So really helpful. That can be super helpful. In terms of blood, like dashes, Veil of Blood is just so good. I mean, this probably matters. There's probably better setup than this. I just threw on a gem. I really don't care. It's just the sustain from hitting this that's so nice. The blood, you know, just being able to dash and hit that right there is big increased damage and huge sustain, like 47 HP, I think, with the setup, I think it's like 47, which is nowhere near the highest, but it's still very, very good. Super helpful. I mean, you get hit by one off random hit, and then you dash and hit him with Veil of Blood, well, you're good. Back to full health. And then Chaos Volley, again, I should probably get a better jewel than this. If I had an ideal jewel, it would be range, damage, and cooldown, specifically because the higher the range, the further away you can kind of just like kite him. It's hard to kite him, but you will find a lot of situations where you're kind of in a weird distance from him and you want to just kind of throw out those Chaos Volleys. You can also use them on the lasers around here, and sometimes if you're like all the way back here and you're trying to hit this over here, it might be a little bit too far away without that range, but it's okay. We can work with this. Increased damage, cooldown, those are probably the best. I only have increased damage at the moment, no big deal. And then Raging Tempest I use specifically because it's an enormous burst of damage and it gives static, which is really good for pistols in general, really any weapon, but pistols with Q. That right there with static is really strong. If you can find that combo, it's good. But overall, it's really more so just because the damage during Raging Tempest is out of this world. So again, pistols, primarily we're doing this because compared to slashers, the damage on pistols on the left click is just so strong. So much stronger than slashers. I think pistols are like, or slashers I believe are like 25 or 30% of your physical damage per hit or something small like that. I mean, it's really small. And the thing about pistols that makes them so, you know, the quote-unquote risk in pistols, risk, quote-unquote, is the fact that you can't move while you're attacking, right? So you can't really move while you're attacking, and it has a wind-up. So you don't attack, and then you start attacking. And there's definitely like a little bit of lag, right? So that's kind of like the quote-unquote risk of using pistols. Whereas slashers or an axe isn't any melee weapon, or other than, I guess you can't, not spear, but like, you know, greatsword, axes, you can move while you're attacking, right? Even Reaper, you can move while you're attacking. Pistols, however, you can't move, which is like, again, that's the quote-unquote risk. But the pros massively outweigh the cons on pistols when it comes to this fight. Especially, like I've mentioned, for how much damage the left click does for hitting him, as well as shooting the laser things. It makes it so much easier to keep them down. And while I'm really used to working in this tiny space for the majority of the fight, being able to have just a little bit more space to work with makes it so much easier to deal with. And then finally, this might be controversial to some people, but my preferred blood for this fight is actually Brute Blood. I know that sounds weird, but just hear me out here. Obviously, Warrior is super tanky and does big damage. Being able to get your moves off cooldown faster is really good. The parry is really good. Thief crits, super nice. I mean, any of these bloods are going to be just fine. High Scholar, I mean, you can never go wrong with High Scholar blood. It's just busted beyond belief. So if you want to use High Scholar blood, by all means use High Scholar blood. But the reason I like blood specifically is because, like I mentioned with the cons on the pistols, Brute Blood has huge amounts of not only sustain, which is nice, that's not the point. It has huge amounts of attack speed bonuses, especially at 100%. You know, I believe it's a tier 2. I'll use this in just a second, just so you can see the comparison. tier 2 attack, the attack speed bonus, especially at 100% when you have the tier 5 that increases everything by 30%, your attack speed kind of goes through the roof. And while I'm using the Amulet of Spellweaver, if you were to use the amulet that increases attack speed as well, I believe it's the yellow one, I mean, your attack speed's so crazy at that point that it makes it so the downside of using pistols and how long you're standing still is just like, it's nowhere near as bad. And let me just, which is again also why if you're comfortable not using Veil of Blood, using Veil of Storm it gives you the increased attack speed is also, and damage from static is also extremely good. So definitely if you don't want to use Veil of Blood, use Veil of Storm and you will absolutely wreck. But let me just show you what happens, the attack speed comparison between Brute Blood and other bloods. So here you go. And then this. It may be hard to understand how much faster this is, but trust me when I say that is extremely fast. And now let's put on Veil of Storms. I'll show you exactly how fast it goes right here. You see how fast that is? So you can just pump out attacks so much easier. And that little bit of attack speed from I say little bit, the 15% plus 30% attack speed for, what is that, like 20%-ish attack speed from Brute Blood here. Just that increased attack speed is so nice. And obviously getting in a little bit of gear score. I mean, I don't know how the damage calculation works out being 2 levels higher than him with having a legendary and being, having Brute Blood. But suffice to say, it's pretty solid. I'm going to pop these potions now, and we're going to get into this. I'm just going to take this time to kind of go over his attacks here and show how this setup works. I know this took forever. Yeah. But we'll go through it. Again, I'm going to use as many Blood Rose Brews as you have, or Blood Rose Potions. But here we go. Get this. We're going to jump down. And we're just going to look at his attacks here. So he pops these open. Okay, we're going to roll past this. Now he's going to grab. And we're just going to strafe here. So watch. Strafe. So that's 1 3-hit combo. Another 3-hit combo. You can just strafe to the side while he's doing it. 3 3-hit combos, and he should probably do a stomp or a grab after this. There's the grab. There's the stomp. Oh, got hit by it? It doesn't matter. So here comes the 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to dash just so I can heal. 51. We're going to heal up a bit. And here comes a grab or a stomp. Here's the grab. And, oh, no stomp. That's okay. We're going to counter. Roll through the stomp. There we go. So we're getting the idea here. And so this is the first phase of the fight. All he does is this. It's very easy to deal with if you know what he's doing. Here comes the grab. And he's going to do it again. And let's see, I'm just going to keep doing this here. And here's the stomp. Oh, got hit by it. A little bit off timing. No big deal. So we're getting a little bit of damage. Here comes the grab. Yep. So he did those 3 attacks. He's probably going to do that grab or the stomp, right? That was 2. Here's a stomp. Nope. So here's a grab or a stomp. There's the grab. And here's the stomp. All right, see? So suffice it to say, that's really all there is to this fight at the beginning. But whenever his health gets a little bit lower, you're going to see that he's going to start summoning the lightning. And we're going to speed it up from there because that part gets a little bit more scary. There's the grab. And we use the counter here. You see he just loses sight of us. Stomp. Just get that timing down. All right, so now his health is like this, is a little bit low. So now he's going to start summoning lightning. Counter helps a lot for this situation. Oh, okay, so this barrier is what we're waiting for. We want that barrier to be down before he uses, before we use our ult. So having a little bit of space like this with pistols, by knocking one of these down, is just so nice. We're gonna dash out of the way. All right, any second now, he's probably going to use another lightning. Okay, there it is. There's the grab. Stomp. Again, we're dodging the lightning while this is going on. We want to open up a little bit of space. Counter again. Probably a grab here soon. 2, 3. All right, this is going to be a grab for sure. We're going to dash. Heal a bit. Counter this. So it's all kind of like a pace. A rhythm is what you're getting into. You just want to get that rhythm. All right, so now he's half life. We're just going to... Oh, we got to dash to that lightning. We don't want to get hit by that. There we go. I'm going to dash through this. Oh, got hit by it anyway. That's okay. That's why we have the heals. All right, so he's almost to the point where... Okay, so in this situation, we don't... See how his health is this low? We don't want to be too far away from him. While he uses that shield, by the way, we want to open up another spot. We don't want to use... We don't want to be too far away, because if we get too far away, he'll do like a suicide kamikaze mega rush slam or grab. So you want to kind of stay a little bit closer to him, or else he's going to do some crazy attacks. We're going to counter this. So, barely dodged that. We were just a little bit too far away or back from him. You can sidestep those grabs. All right, here comes the barrier. We're going to ult this. And then dash back into this side here. We're going to dodge that. So he's probably going to try to grab us here. That is what... Yep, see? That dash there is really scary. So he threw us. We're actually still fine. Alright, so usually I wait to use my ult for this move here. But that's okay. We're going to dash over, pop a potion. Roll dodge. Oh, that's not good. That's okay. I mean, he threw us this way. It's okay. We see, look, we have pistols here. And it allows us to do something like this. Open up a little bit of space. Unfortunate. Might be in the lightning here, so that's definitely bad. This is the reason we want to avoid these throws into the lightning. But I'm not gonna panic here because we still have plenty of... okay, that was actually annoying. We still have plenty of like time, I guess you could say. Plenty of HP here. We're working with a pretty good health pool still, even though we're getting to the scary part after this. And again, I'm not trying to do this like perfectly. I'm just trying to show you how it works. We're gonna go ahead and keep these things open. Roll through this. Oh, I still got hit by it. That's annoying. That's okay, though, because we can actually just dash. So he still hits us. That's annoying. We're going to down him here. And I'm actually going to pop a regular potion and hit these things open. There we go. Counter this. Oh, we're going to dash out of it. Ah, that's brutal. Definitely getting hit by these lasers. Alright, so this is definitely looking bad. Because we have so much stuff going on before we could get away from him. Ooh. So definitely looking bad. But that's okay. If we die, we die. Got hit by one too many things. So that right there, you can strafe parallel to that hit. Okay, didn't do anything. Okay, so this is fine. Just go ahead and open this more space up if we can. And we're gonna roll on this stomp. Missed, that's okay. Bring him in the corner here, and then we're going to dodge like this whenever he opens that. Yep. Invisibility. Okay, he's going up again. That's fine. So you see, we keep our cool. And even though I'm getting a lot of damage, it's really not a big deal. Oh, wow, he hit me anyway. That sucks. Oh, he did it again. That's funny. I mean, that could have been a lot worse. Honestly, I rolled at the time. We're gonna dash this time. That's fine. All right, so he just used his ult like that? Or he just used his barrier? So I'm actually gonna ult here. I'm gonna do this, because he's probably gonna open this right here, or close this right here. Dash out of the way. You want to open more space? Just keep 2 open at once if you can. It's really helpful. Woo! Didn't look for a second. Now it got really scary. All right, get ready to roll. There we go. Oh, that's unfortunate. Could have been worse. We're gonna pop a healing potion. Again, that was really bad. Oof, really bad again. Even though I'm like hitting the rolls, I don't know if there's a little bit of ping or that's just what happens with the pistol and I'm bad. That's okay. Oh, this isn't good. Let's go ahead and hit this. That was scary. Kind of stuck here in a really bad spot. We want to get out of the way. Yeah, we just want a little more space here. Oh, still hit me anyway.
This is what power looks like.
I'm gonna heal up again here. Again, I'm getting pretty low, and this is actually really scary, but we're gonna dash over here. He's low too, so that's too bad. Again, this is getting pretty close. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, there we go. We got him. So, obviously very scary. Hard to talk and do that at the same time, especially I'm just making mistakes. You can see how many mistakes I made, but because I'm able to keep my cool, you can see how to deal with each of those abilities. The reason I was saying it's no big deal if I die is the point of this is really more so just to show, like, the method of doing it, like how to deal with it. Okay, loot check real quick. What is this? It's trash. Okay. But yeah, I hope that actually helps you a little bit. You can see I used 3 healing potions. Usually what I would be doing in that situation, just dropping blood rose potions as much as possible. But I really just wanted to show kind of how to like slowly deal with each of the attacks. It's hard to keep it all straight, especially when he's doing it all. I apologize for the end there. Just to go over really quickly what he does. This is kind of a poor way to do this, but I'll show. Whenever he has his lightning arm and he goes like ha ha, and then he dashes behind you and slams, that when he dashes behind you and slams, you cannot counter that. It is an AoE move and it will hit through your counter and it hurts very badly, and I believe it stuns you. So whenever he slash, you can strafe and he will dash. You can just strafe it and he'll hit along the line right here, you know, along a straight line. About like that. And then he shoots a little sidewinder, the 2 little, you know, lasers or electrical beams that go, you know, in a sidewinder kind of thing. You can counter those if you see those, or just dash out of the way. Usually I prefer to counter them. And then the laser beam that just kind of going everywhere and following you, that shows the importance of making sure that you have at least 2 of these open at once. Having enough room to be able to kite the laser beam over to a corner and then dash away from that corner if need be and just create more space and kite it back. And then usually it'll just leave you alone by that point. Whenever he goes up, it's usually pretty easy when he goes up. I mean, obviously I got slammed on a couple times. Had some weird timing issues with the pistols where I'm like rolling and then getting hit out of it anyway. But rolling is generally the best option, is to roll and then, you know, hit him with the E whenever you roll, whenever he lands. Or you can dash out of it if you want to. And what happens is if it's... So one thing you can do also is wait as the lightning is striking down on you before he lands. You can wait about a little bit of time, like halfway in. I don't really have a time frame for it, but about halfway in you can wait and then dash, and the silhouette will actually draw his his landing aggro, and he'll just land on the silhouette, and you can just be standing outside of it. Wait to use your ult until you see him use his barrier, because he is invincible while that barrier is going. If you have your ult off cooldown, don't just use it and think, oh, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it now. No. Wait for his barrier to be gone. Once he uses his barrier, as long as it takes, wait for that and then use your ult. I cannot tell you the amount of times where I've thought, ooh, this is the perfect time to use an ult. And I've used it, and he immediately pops his barrier and blocks 80% of the damage. But anyway, I hope that helps and shows kind of how that build works. You can see I got down to like 1 HP. Obviously, that is not ideal at all. I was clearly, in my opinion, I was clearly taking my time during that fight, just like taking my time trying to hit him, talking through it. It makes it a little harder to concentrate, but I mean, we still managed to pull it out. And this is what makes Brute Blood so powerful. You see at the tier 4 ability, it says increases, I'm sorry, tier 3 ability, it says healing received increased by 15 to 30%. Popping a Blood Rose potion will do just huge amounts of heals in those situations. So definitely, worth keeping that in mind. But anyway, well, that is going to be it for now. Hopefully this helped really explain how to deal with Adam the Firstborn. Like I said, I'm using these things. This wasn't supposed to be a, look, all you have to do is have the best weapons and everything in the entire game and you can beat it. I just wanted to show, like, break down the fight specifically and show what he was doing and kind of show, like, how to deal with the things he was doing. It's not necessary to have legendary pistols. It's not even necessary to have, Potion of Rage, or Witch Potion, and your amulet doesn't really matter that much. I like the ability cooldown one, because it is really nice. Spellweaver's pretty nice, just have a little bit more cooldown. But I mean, really, you can do it with pretty much any of them. But anyway, so that is going to be it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you in the next one.